Hello, it's time for the homework notes for level 4, list N1b and N2. So we haven't had time in class yet to build the past tense ending page, which is with our ED card. We've learned this ED past tense ending phonogram, but now we have to put it to use. So Ollie and I went and made a video for you demonstrating how to build that page. So you can go and watch that and do that with your student, and that's something that would be a precursor to doing the day 1 review activities, because you need to know how to form the past tense with the past tense rule, which looks like this, and is rule 28. You need to know how to do that in order to do the day 1 review activity for N2. So if you haven't done that yet, it's okay, keep watching the video, but just know that you're gonna have to go back and with your student do the ED page before you can do your day 1 activity. So day 1 review, it says time all 71 phonograms. The reason there's 71 phonograms is because we got gutgwa yesterday as a new advanced phonogram. So you'll add that to the ones that they already know. There's an abbreviations page that we're adding information to this week, as well as practicing more of our ers and finding those on our B5 and B6. And review activities. So your N1b words, where we're finishing that off, just go ahead and do those on a scratch piece of paper or on the back of the worksheet for N2b. I'm sorry, for N2 for this week. And then N2, your activity is a Vivid's word worksheet. So it basically it's in the blue book for activities N through Z, or for lists N through Z, I'm sorry. And so you're gonna essentially divide the list into nouns and verbs. And I would go back and forth. I wouldn't just go in the order that they're presented, because all of the nouns are presented first as the first 10 words, and then all the verbs are presented as words 11 through 20. So just pick and choose and go back and forth between the columns so that the kiddos have to decide, is this a verb or is this a noun? Or as they're calling it, a persons or a say. So persons being the noun, say being the verb. And so you're gonna go back and forth and you're gonna fill that out. The instructions on the worksheet say to fill it out with the verb already in the past tense. But the way that we modified that for us is when we did this activity, I had Ollie write the verbs in present tense as he learned them during dictation when we had class day. Then after that, we went back and analyzed the words that we had seen, and we did it in steps. So after we have all of the say column filled in, then we went back and we reviewed our past tense ending card and our rule, and we looked for all the words that ended in D or T. So we had repent and we had demand. So we addressed those first, and we put those in past tense first by forming the new syllable. Then after that, we looked to see if we had any eavesdropping words, because we know from our eavesdropping rule that silent final E's commonly lose the need for E when adding a vowel suffix, and edit is a vowel suffix. So we had to go back and identify those. So again, we put the E with the down arrow next to those, and those were mumble and criticize and excuse, and then we practiced dropping 2 eavesdropping words. And then after that, we went back and analyzed and looked for anything else. Did we have any Y's exchange? We didn't. We didn't have any verbs that ended in Y this time. So then we practiced a handful of other verbs in past tense. And that just seemed like a good way to break it down, and it gave us little steps to do. And also, this can take a lot of focus, especially if you've gone back and done the presentation of the past tense rule right before jumping into this activity. So if you fill out the worksheet and then come back and analyze it later to finish it, or finish it the next day, that's okay. Do what you need to do to be successful so that your kiddo's attention is where you need it to be. Then you're gonna write sentences for day 1, and you make sure that you're bringing in review. You don't have any chart additions for day 2, and for the derivatives worksheet, that is an activity for day 2. Again, that's in our blue book, and that's page 25. And so you're gonna practice adding suffixes to the spelling words for this week. And so with suffixes, again, we just have to look and see, do we have eavesdropping? Do we have any Y's exchange words, and what are those rules? So pull out your rule cards for your eavesdropping, for your Y's exchange. Make sure that you're reviewing those before you try to put them into practice, and also your new past tense rule. So you have review words that come back from N1, from N1, and then your new spelling words are on the bottom. And just make sure, again, keeping track on your lesson plan, that if you haven't had them write a word on a worksheet on a reference page that day, that they get an opportunity to write that word either in the margin or on the back or in the air or on the table or on a piece of rainbow scratch paper or on dry erase. And it says diagnostic test for this week. I'm going to say for this week, don't worry about that. We'll talk about it more in class. And if you have any questions, please let me know.